Hey there. I'm going live today inside of this group, my private New School Kitchen Real Foodies group. There's 950 of you in here, and I want to connect with you if you need connection. And I think so many of us need connection right now. So even with the camera turned this way instead of, I think, the way I'm supposed to do it long ways, but that word supposed to, let's just get rid of that. So hi, hello. I'm coming to you today from my closet and from my humanness and from my heart. I had done a video last night. You may have seen it, posted on Instagram and Facebook, just kind of talking about how hard my day was yesterday emotionally. And I wanted to dig into that. I wanted to dig into a little bit of talk about emotions, because emotional eating is such a topic that comes up so frequently in this work. And I want to talk about the building blocks for successfully navigating this human experience and not just surviving in it, but really thriving in it, really getting into alignment with who we are and what we're here to do, and showing up every day in some way, in some small way, to do that work, to thrive. Do you want to thrive? Say yes, whether you're watching this live or after the fact. I do. I want to thrive. So my hard day yesterday, we all know hard days, right? It's like from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, a hard day is just like pushing down on you, like, I'm just gonna be here and I'm gonna ask you to feel the feels, or keep running from the feels, which is part of what could make it a hard day. Let me give this some context. So I found out that somebody that I know and have worked with and would consider a friend passed away. She was in her 30s and she battled courageously with cancer for a long time. She was a fighter. Well, if anybody's in Wilmington, Alex Adams, she worked at Tidal Creek for a long time. She was on the board of directors there. She babysat my child. She did transformation twice. She was in the New School Kitchen membership for over a year. And she was a wonderful community member and human being. And she died on Monday. Yesterday was Wednesday. On Monday and on Tuesday, I sort of allowed the information to come in. And I told my husband, I teared up, like let it come up a little bit, and then and what I did was that I pushed away the experience of feeling the feels about her death. Welcome to those of you who are here live. Please feel free to comment and ask questions if you have any. But I'm talking about how I pushed away processing a death because I was avoiding discomfort. And I was avoiding my own shame. I had thought about this person a few times a few months ago, and I even reached out to her. I sent her my calendar link. I knew she was still struggling with her health, and she just kept coming up and popping up for me. And so I reached out and I said, please connect with me. And she never scheduled an appointment. And we chatted very briefly on Facebook Messenger, and I never connected with her before she died. And so what I think that I was doing was pushing away my own shame and, all the stuff that we do when feelings are big and we feel like we did something wrong, or we were not enough in that situation. I also coached her on her health, and she died of cancer. And so my professional self was threatened. I was saying things to myself like, well, what do I know? People that I work with, wonderful, healthy, lovely, beautiful women in their 30s end up dying. How is it that people are asking me for my advice? I also pushed away grieving and processing it because I fear for my own mortality. Who does not? And those of us with chronic illness know that being confronted with someone our age who passes to the other side because of illness can be very triggering. It is for me. So all of these things for 2 days where I was not allowing myself to process the feels from this death hit me yesterday. And from the moment I woke up, I think I dreamt about death. From the moment I woke up until the moment I went to bed, I could not stop crying. And yesterday, truly, I allowed it. I allowed it. I acknowledged. I feel sad. I feel hopeless. I feel without resources. I feel stupid. I feel lost. I feel alone. All of the things I was feeling, whether they're true or not, is irrelevant. If you want to come to the other side of emotional eating and wherever your stagnation and stuckness and pain and suffering is, you have to move through your feelings. Emotions are energy. They pass through us. We are not our emotions, but in this life, we are here to be with them, feel them, allow them. So feeling the feels is hard. So right now, as I'm saying it to you, I'm starting to get a little shaky. My stomach is tightening up, and I'm going from my body up into my head. And what I did yesterday and what I'm allowing and doing today is dropping back down into my body, acknowledging how I'm feeling, and allowing it all to be there and to be okay. So much of our suffering is not what we're feeling, it's how we think about what we're feeling, how we're judging what we're feeling and thinking. It's the way that we create tension around what we're feeling, the stories that we create around what we're feeling, the making it right and making it wrong, the blaming of ourselves and blaming of others. That's the suffering. And so when we can allow it, when we can feel the feels, we start to transform. You ever heard the ocean of emotion analogy, right? That the feeling is like that giant wave. Those of us that experience the ocean and live near the beach, the feeling is like a big wave coming at us. And remember, as a kid, it would be like, oh my God, this is the one. Even now, I'm like scared of huge waves. Like, this is the one that's gonna knock me over and tumble me through the sand and shove salt water up my nose and wash me up on the beach and make me look so stupid and make my bathing suit top come down and my boobs go flapping all over the place, right? The fear of like the big wave, the emotion. And so run, do whatever we can, hide, hold our nose. It's coming. When, if you face the wave, dive into it, go under it, feel it passing over you, through you, around you, hold your breath and come up the other side. What's the experience in the ocean then? How exhilarating was that as a child to come under and to the other side of the wave, the ocean of emotion. So how do we change then? How do we change? Well, we change teeny tiny ritual by teeny tiny ritual. Really. And I teach my clients this, and I focus on this in transformation, and I'm bringing this to you in the Rest and Rise Challenge right now for free, Feb 1 through 5 next week. And I'm popping in here to invite you to that, because the rituals that we create, however small they might seem, however silly they might seem, before we go to bed, and especially in the morning when we wake up, are profound building blocks to transformation, to shifting away from that state that you do not want to be in anymore, that you are uncomfortable in, that you feel stuck in, right? I want to say that I don't think we are ever stuck from a stagnant point of view. You might be feeling the same thing over and over again, the same argument with the person in your head, or the same argument with the person in real life, the going back to the sugar and the carbs, going back to the foods that don't work for you and feeling that shame cycle. You might feel stuck in that, but you are never stopped. There's never stagnation. You are always whirling around the blender. And if you do not have ritual, if you do not have rest, if you do not set intentions in your day, however small, you feel stuck. Rituals are your lifeline to your desired state, to getting into action with the other things, the things that are always on the list that you never quite get to. Because like that experience of grief, that I kept pushing away for 2 days because I didn't want to feel the discomfort and the shame, you continue to push away those things that you do not want to face because the what ifs are under them too, right? We all have ways that we get in our own way. That is the human experience of change. That is why we need support in order to transform. That is why we need each other in order to transform. That is why we need coaching in order to transform. And coaching can look like talking to an amazing friend with good perspective. It can look like engaging in a free group online. It does not have to look like coaching with me. But you cannot change, you cannot transform in a vacuum of your own chaos without ritual and without support. I'm learning this for myself again right now as I plug back into groups of women, plug back into personal ritual for myself, and allow myself to truly receive the support that is a birthright and available to all of us. Look, ladies, we would have been sitting around the fire, sitting around making the corn cakes. I always think of like corn patties when I think of, I don't know, like pioneer women, frontier women, right? We would have all been making the food together while the men were building the houses together, while the kids were entertaining each other and we were not having to take care of them except to feed them, right? So we would have been making our corn cakes, and in this pioneer women vision that I'm explaining here, I can tolerate corn and so can you. And we would have been supporting each other. And then when we were bleeding, we would have had ritual together. And then at night, we might have sat around the fire. We probably would have, and had connection and ritual together. Yes, it might look like Instagram and Facebook now for a lot of us. It might look like Zoom. And it's a paltry replacement for actually being energetically in person with someone around a fire. And it still works. So use it. Use it, connect. So rest and rise and ritual, really what I'm talking about here, are your building blocks for transformation. I want you to join me. I want you to join me for this week of the opportunity to transform. It doesn't matter if you're trying to change something with your food, you're trying to shift dynamic in your relationships, you're trying to change your career and leave your job, if you're trying to, I don't know, change your financial situation, like anything you want to transform. Food or otherwise, it's all the same mechanism by which you need to show up in ritual and with support in order to get there. Do you have any questions? Do you have any requests? Anything that you really want to see me cover in the Rest and Rise Challenge? So I'll be going live every day for 5 days next week, and I'll be teaching for 15 to 20 minutes. Previously, when I've done 5-day challenges, I do an hour-long class. I get it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Me neither. I just got on my kid last week for using the word ain't. So let's not show him this video. And I'm going to be talking about how food relates to your sleep and wake rituals, right? Are you eating right before bed? Are you eating right when you wake up? Is that good? Is that bad? Does that work for you? I'll be talking about herbs, the herbs that you can be drinking at night to calm your nervous system, and the herbs that you can choose in the morning to elevate your system if that's what's needed. I'm going to talk about plant medicine a little bit next week in the context of Rest and Rise. What are you using that's supportive of you? And what maybe could you invite to the party to support your Rest and Rise rituals? I just took my microdose. This is a mushroom. It is not illegal for me to show you this or talk about this with you. And taking teeny tiny doses, I took a little tiny piece of the cap this morning, is an amazingly therapeutic practice for me. Doesn't have to be for you, but full spectrum hemp oil, cannabis, especially in low doses, there are plants that can brilliantly support us to rest and to rise in a way that's more intentional. I'm going to talk about emotional eating, I think, next week, that keeps coming up over and over again, or just this idea of emotions and feeling the feels and allowing the emotional experience to happen through us as a way of evolving, as a way of not ending up having a nervous breakdown because we're trying to control and put everything in boxes. I'm going to talk about healing. gut healing, maybe some supplement recommendations if you guys want that. I'd love to see you comment on this video as you're watching or afterwards. What would you like me to teach you about next week during the Rest and Rise Challenge? This is a free kickoff week to Transformation, my group program, which starts on February 8th. The first coaching call is Monday night, February 8th of Transformation. Those of you that are already like, I have 3 or 4 of you that are like, where's the payment link? I have the money now, I'm in. And I'm getting it. I'm getting that final link all set up for you. And during the week of the challenge, you will get to enroll in Transformation if that feels right for you. But the week of the challenge is your opportunity to, for free, connect with me, get some coaching, ask me your questions, receive my teaching, and be in this space of support for you to create ritual around your rest and around your rise routines so that you can do what you're here to do on this crazy planet, so that you can feel all of the amazing spectrum of feelings that you are supposed to feel here in this amazing body, so that you can live, truly live before you die. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for considering ritual in your own life. I will be releasing next week a checklist of things that you can do in the morning during your align time, and helping you generate and create for yourself a 15, 20, 30-minute morning intentional experience so that you can thrive. I can't wait to hear what yours looks like as I share mine. Please don't hesitate to join me for the Rest and Rise Challenge. And remember that you're always transforming. You're always in the process of change. And we're all in it together. Thanks, guys. Love you.